Right, today we are going to study France, how it become constitutional monarchy. It was 1791 Common Era. Their National Assembly, which gathered at a tennis court, had completed drafting the constitution. Its main objective of this tennis court, that is the National Assembly, to reduce the powers of a monarch. So this new constitution, which drafted by National Assembly, had completed by 1791 Common Era. In the year 1791, it completed. Started in 1789 Common Era. And according to this new constitution, the powers of the king were divided and placed between different institutions. Earlier, all the powers were in the hands of a king that was in dictatorship. Now, a new administrative system, a new form of government chosen by the National Assembly, that is constitutional monarchy. Okay, what is the new form of government they chosen here? That is constitutional monarchy. In constitutional monarchy, monarch rules the nation according to the constitution. What is there in the constitution that should be followed by the king? King powers were limited, and his rule was confined according to the constitution, that what we call constitutional monarchy. In constitutional monarchy, the powers of the king were divided and distributed between three institutions. Three new different organs are created, that is the legislature, executive, and judiciary. Understand? Earlier, the powers of a judicial system, executive system, and the legislature were with the king. Now, legislature is some separate organ from the executive and judiciary. Legislature is a body of representatives for making laws. Executive is a body of representatives for executing the laws made in a legislature. And judiciary is with judges. Its work is to observe and find whatever the works and the rule of the executive is according to the law or not. The judiciary is given authority to find out the laws made in legislature, whether they are in accordance with constitution or not. If a law is not according to the constitution, such law is not allowed by judiciary. Okay. If any activity of the executive is not in accordance with the constitution, that will be cancelled by the judiciary. So the powers to form the government were with the king once upon a time. Today is with the three organs. In the modern time, at present, we find a government with three organs, right? We find a government with three organs. One is legislature, second is executive, third is judiciary. Understand? So the present government consists of three organs. One is legislature, second is executive, third is judiciary. Understand? With these three organs, government is made. Okay, and which works according to the constitution. Okay, and the government runs by the monarch, and the monarch should rule in accordance with the constitution. In that way, 1791 common era, where National Assembly drafted the constitution, made France as a constitutional monarchy. Okay, so this constitution gave some powers to make laws to National Assembly. National Assembly was given powers to make laws as per the Constitution 1791. But here the rights were not given. The right to vote. The right to vote is very important political right in electing the representatives. Such a power, such a right of the people, that is right to vote, was not conferred to all the citizens. All the citizens did not get right to vote. Citizens were classified into two groups. One is active citizens and another is passive citizens. Understand? Active citizens were given the right, that is right to vote. Look at that. Only we find active citizens had right to vote. Then who are called active citizens? All men who are above 25 years of age and paid taxes to the and paid 3 days of their wages as tax to the government are called active citizens. Active citizens are those people who paid 3 days their wages as a tax to government. Those people are given right to vote. Understand? That means if anyone want to become active citizen, he should pay 3 days of his labor wages, his wages to the government. Then he becomes active citizen. This is the criteria to become active citizen, that is eligibility. Okay, all the citizens are not eligible to become active citizen, right? Who are eligible? Who pays their 3 days wages as a tax to the government. That is a minimum 3 days. Okay, they could pay 4 days, 15 days like that, but minimum 3 days of wages should be paid to the government as a tax. Then they becomes what? Active citizens. Remaining all are passive citizens. Understand? So the National Assembly which drafted the Constitution guaranteed a right to vote for active citizens, and those are active citizens are above 25 years of age. They must be 25 years of age. The two men, not women, all men who crossed 25 years of age and paid 3 days of their wages to the government as a tax, they are called active citizens. Understand? These active citizens will give their vote to some members. Okay, and those are called electors. Understand? And from these electors, some members will be elected to assembly. Those are called representatives. Understand? So this is the procedure given in a new constitution by National Assembly. Understand? Then who becomes a elector here? To become active citizen, 3 days of wages. How much? 3 days of wages should be paid to the government. And to become elector, a person should be in the list of highest taxpayer. Okay, if somebody pays a tax for 3 days, he becomes active citizen. But certain people who pay highest amount as a tax to the government, they becomes what? Electors. Understand? Right? That is a what to call rule applied there by the what to call Constitution of France, prepared in year 1791. Okay, look at that. Who are active citizens? And sorry, electors. See, they belongs to highest category. What is that? Highest category of a taxpayer. See, instead the man had to belong to the category of highest taxpayer, right? So any individual who pay highest tax to the government, he becomes eligible to become elector. Understand? So active citizens elect electors. Electors elects the what? Representatives. What? Representatives. Understand? This is the what procedure they followed. Understand? And here, to become these all, the constitution of the France starts with a declaration of rights of man and citizens. It's not women, only for men. Understand? So see that underlined one, declaration of the rights of man and citizen. Okay, 17 citizen rights are drafted by the constitution. 17 citizen rights. Okay, and the rights of man. What are the rights of man? Right to life, right to freedom of speech, right to freedom of opinion, equal before law. These all are natural rights. They are inalienable. What are those? Natural and inalienable rights. They cannot be removed. What is meant by inalienable? By birth, as the person takes birth, with the birth of a person, he gets those rights. That is, why did a person, sorry, why does the person gets comes to this world to lead the life? So the birth of a person says that he has right to life, right? Second is freedom of speech. Understand? Everybody given right to speak what they feel correct, what they feel wrong. There is a freedom to the people to express their opinions on certain things which they consider right or wrong. Right? Everybody have all the individuals takes birth in the same manner, so that everyone should be treated equally. Understand? That is equal before law. These are natural and inalienable rights. Understand? There is no right to anyone to take away these inalienable rights. Understand? Because they comes by birth. Understand? And it is the responsibility of the government to protect 17 citizen natural rights. All the citizens have 17 rights, which are called 17 citizens natural rights. So it was the duty of a government to protect 17 citizens natural rights, understand, which are given in the textbook, next page. Okay, the French government have turned in this manner. Okay, look at this figure. What is given in the figure? The figure is about political system in accordance with the Constitution of 1791 Common Era. In this figure, we find a government is with three organs. One is a judiciary. Just a minute. One is what? A judiciary. What is that? Judiciary. Just wait. It is coming down. Right now. Okay. So it is, one is judiciary, executive, legislature. Understand? So any government, in any government we find, whatever the government you take, we find three departments, three organs. One is legislature, second is executive, third is a judiciary. Understand? Legislature is the department enforces law. That means it enacts law. Laws are made in legislature, and these laws are executed by the executive organ. Okay, whether these laws are according to the constitution or not, that will be tested by the judiciary. Understand? Okay, and here you see that there is interdependency between executive and legislature. Understand? King is given veto power. What is veto power? The power of the king to dissolve a legislature, right? And there is a power to the National Assembly, that what we call legislature, to control the king. Okay, when king acts against the constitution, then National Assembly controls the voting. Okay. When National Assembly is exceeding its limits, then king is given power to dissolve the National Assembly called veto power. Okay. King rules the nation with the help of ministers. With the help of ministers, understand? And these ministers are controlled by National Assembly. National Assembly consists of 745 members. Those are representatives. And these 745 representatives are elected by the 50,000 electors who were highest taxpayers in the society. And these 50,000 electors are elected by active citizens who are given vote. They are entitled to vote, right to vote. They have one right, that is right to vote. Understand? So altogether in France, there were 4 million active citizens were there out of 28 million at the time. And there is judiciary, which is a separate one. Okay, this is not placed under either executive or parliament. What happens if judiciary is placed either executive or legislature, then the judges may not feel free in giving judgment against the what executive and legislature when they violate constitution. Okay, so here to give judgment in a free and fair manner without the force of this executive and legislature, it is very essential judiciary to be independent. So how is the judiciary here? It is independent. Understand? Independent judiciary, it is there. Okay, it is separate, right? It is not under executive and legislature. So it is independent one. The judges of the judiciary also what to call elected by the active citizens. Only men are entitled active citizens. Understand? This is the system and the structure of the government advocated by the French Constitution. Understand? So, as per this, they had active citizens of 4 millions, remaining are 3 million men and women, and children and youth below 25 years age are passive citizens. They were not given right to vote. Understand? That is the what structure we see here. Understand? This is the what government they formed. Understand? Here you find that the Declaration of Rights of Man and Citizen. Okay, read all this one uh, after the class. Okay, it is what men are born and remain free and equal in rights. All men are equal in rights. Okay, every political association, there's a political party, have to protect the natural and inalienable rights of a man. Those are liberty, individual property, individual security, and resistance to oppress. See, some people are forced by some government. Then the people have the right to what to call oppose that what to call oppression. Understand? That is resistance to oppression. So these rights have to be protected by political party. Whichever the political party is trying to form the government, they should aim to protect the natural and inalienable rights. Understand? And the power, sovereign is the supreme power, right? So the source of sovereignty is in the nation. Third right. What in by nation? People. That means supreme power is in the hands of people. Understand? So no individual, no person who does not get authority from the people may not exercise his control on the people. Understand? That means the people to whom they give power, such person is having authority to control the people. That means sovereignty is in the hands of a people of a nation, right? And these people have supreme power in their hand. To whom they assign this supreme power, they have the right and authority to control the people, okay, and to make laws for the people. That is nothing but a government which gets sovereign power from the hands of the people. Understand? So people are supreme in authority. So the source of sovereignty lies in the hands of the people, okay. And liberty consists of a power to do whatever and is not injurious to others. Every individual is given complete freedom. What kind of freedom? The freedom which does not harm others. Understand? Suppose you are doing some work that should not harm others, that should not become obstacle to the others, then you are alone. So freedom is that to see that there should not be damage and obstacle to the freedom of others. That is what freedom, that what we call liberty, okay. The law has right to forbid only actions that are injurious to society. Whatever is injurious to society, harmful to the society, that can be banned by the law. Okay, if it is not harmful to the society, there is no right to law to ban it. Understand? Law is the expression of a general will. What is general will? All the citizens have the right to take part in the formation personally or through their representatives. All are equal before the law. Understand? The law says that everybody is equal in front of the law. That is the what thing. Okay. No man may be accused, arrested or detained except in case of determined law. Whatever the law says, according to the law, the person may be accused or arrested until if there is no any guilty or a crime, there may not be controlling the what freedom of the person. Like this, several rights are given. We look at this figure, which is showing that declaration of the rights of man and citizens, in which we do not find the rights of women. Understand? So later women started their revolt, demanding equal rights along with what to call men. Understand? This is the what French what to call becoming the constitutional monarchy and how it started. Okay.